Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the Course Creator Community Podcast. I am super excited because we have an awesome guest on the line this week. A little bit about this person. She's a social media strategist known for her outspoken dedication to relationship marketing. Her personal mission is to inspire people to love more, give more, and be more thorough using authentic relationships every day. She founded her company, Now Marketing Group, in 2010 with only a laptop and a vision. Her company is now a Forbes recognized agency partner, a certified inbound partner with HubSpot. She's a very popular speaker herself. She's spoken at social media marketing world, content marketing world, and her company, Now Marketing Group, works with more than 100 clients all across the USA and beyond. So without further ado, let me introduce the one and only Ms. Jessika Phillips. Jessika, how are you?
Hey, is doing so well. Thanks so much for having me on today.
And no, thank you for coming on. Relationship marketing is a topic I love, especially in this space, because a lot of the marketing is automated, right? A lot of the messaging is automated. Sit on the beach and get a virtual assistant to message people and go through your automated webinar and get automated emails, and that's great. You know, it's a good goal, but relationships is a good way. I think trumps it anyway, but we'll get into that later. Jessika, I like to start all these podcasts off with a quote or mantra that inspires you or fires you up. Have you got
Okay, so I have two that are equally as good for me. So one I like to live my life by is by Rumi, and it says to live life as everything is rigged in your favor. And I think it reminds us to have just like a positive mindset that everything is always working out for our highest good, because it is. And one that I love so much, I actually have it tattooed on my wrist, which podcast listeners can't see, but I'm showing you in our Zoom hangout here, which is Meraki, which stands for do everything that you do with your full soul, heart, and passion. So that's the two things I live by.
Yes, love both of those. I like that first one because it's kind of like I feel you will be more successful with that mindset, but even if you're not, you're just happier. You know, it's like something comes up and you go through it happier. And I love that second one. I use a similar one to myself, not quite as fluent as yours. Mine's either a F yes or an F no. So
yes,
same thing, just not as quite eloquent as the way you put it.
Yeah.
All right, Jessika, I've been following you for a while. I've seen you speak in person myself, actually, so I'm pretty familiar with what it is you do. But for everyone listening, let us know, who are you? What do you do? What's relationship marketing? How'd you get into it?
Yeah. So, wow. Okay. So who I am, Jessika Phillips, and I'm from a small town called Lima, Ohio, not to be confused with Lima, Peru. Completely different location altogether, but a super small town in Ohio, Lima, population 30,000 people. And I fell in love with social media or relationship marketing in about 2009, I would say. I thought I had my forever job because I worked in telecommunications. I've always been a nerd. I've loved technology. I've loved the way that we can use technology to connect to others. And so I thought I had my forever job working in telecommunications when I worked my way up from a customer service rep to a sales rep to a distribution partner, where I was working with mom and pop shops to help them market their business, to find team members, and to promote their services and their products. And at the time, working with mom and pops, and this is still true today, they don't have a good marketing budget. They had like no marketing budget. They thought marketing was going to the malls or stores and putting flyers underneath people's windshield wipers. And that's what they thought marketing was today. And I kind of attribute that to today's just blasted emails to purchase list, right? It's kind of the same thing. But at that time, social media had just started coming out and becoming popular. And when I was working with these companies, I noticed that people were going into their stores because they loved the personal attention. They loved that they knew who they were going to be working with and what they were going to get when they got there. And I just loved that grit and hustle and just care that these mom and pop shops put into what they were doing. So I was like, man, if we can highlight this using social media where there's no limits to demographic, it's literally you could outcarry your competition and connect and build rapport with your customers in real time. This could be something really big for businesses. So I started doing that with them. Well, The law of the universe. Sometimes things it's always working on our favor. Like I said, the Ruby quote, but sometimes some things come in our way that we think are the worst case scenario and the end all be all, right? And that's what it was like for me, because I thought I had my forever job, as I said, but I ended up getting pregnant with my third daughter. I'm a mom of three, now teenage girls, Lord help me. But that time was pregnant with my third daughter and got really, really sick and ended up in the hospital for 8 out of the 9 months I was pregnant.
Oh,
And the
wow.
company I'd worked for, I was this top sales rep, was given 2 territories, working and doing a lot for them, but now was out of commission, literally, because I
Damn.
couldn't work. And so they were like, you know what, we can't cover your territory while you're gone, so we're just going to let you go.
Wow.
Um, and that was a realization to me, one, on knowing our worth and who we are, and knowing that if we're going to show up for people and really do our all, like, we need those people to show back up for us. So I was devastated. I was the breadwinner, I was the insurance carrier, and I was put in this horrible position. But one thing that stood out to me is that I was still getting phone calls on my cell phone from the companies that I had worked with, teaching them social media, and they kept asking me questions and telling me their successes and things that had been done. And a light bulb went off, because I went to school for marketing and business. A light bulb went off that I could now work for myself and help these companies really expand that, and work for myself to know that I could now create the kind of company that I wanted to be part of, because it wasn't somebody that could let you go just because you had a moment of something outside of your control. So that's what I do today. I am a relationship marketing evangelist, as I like to say, which truly means that I help brands outcarry the competition to grow organic, sustainable, and repeatable growth in their business, that they can truly, use their brains over budget, if you will,
Mm.
to grow their brands, and to do so in a way that they feel good about, their teams feel good about, and they connect with their audience like a magnet that's going to get people to stick with them longer, versus feeling like they have to play the whole sales funnel game to get more and more leads in, and automate the process that is not sustainable.
Okay, I love it. Let's dive into relationship marketing a bit there, Jessica. So we'll get to some
Sure.
tactical tips a little bit later. To start with, let's start with the definition. In your definition, what is relationship marketing? How is it different or similar to social media marketing, to content marketing? There's all these different terms. They're all
Mhm.
obviously related. Let us know, what, in your opinion, what is relationship marketing?
Yeah. Relationship marketing is a mindset that focuses on going deeper and growing sustainable repeat referral momentum in your business, versus feeling like you have to grow wider, meaning
Mm.
that you need to just continually be dumping in new sales into your business. It is the mindset that it's better to be a magnet versus a bullhorn. And what I mean by that is I truly believe that the sales funnel does not exist in reality today, right? This old sales funnel says that you have to market your business out, and you have to bring all these leads in, and then use your marketing, trickery to convert those leads to marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, and then customers. But then that's the end of it, right? They're a customer now you can forget it and keep just focusing on sales, and you have to keep focusing on new sales. But that doesn't exist today. 90% of all buying decisions start online, and people are influenced. The number one influence on if they do business with one company over another is all based upon the experience that they perceive they're going to have with a company. And they're basing that off of what people are saying about working with that company. So what they're considering peer reviews, meaning somebody that's already done business with them, with this organization, and said, here's what it was like for me to do business with this company, so I'm going to refer them on. And peers today looks a lot different than just our neighbors, our friends, our coworkers, and our family. Peers today are those reviews on Amazon. It's the reviews on Google, right? It's the reviews on Yelp. It's the reviews on Facebook, that people are saying, hey, I advocate for this company and I'm going to promote them, and I believe in them because they did well by me and they delivered an exceptional experience. So companies, in order to create more of those referrals and more of those recommendations, they have to focus on delivering the best experiences to the people that have already chose working with them. And I'm talking starting from the inside out, right? Like relationship marketing is about focusing on starting from the inside out. And what I mean by that is truly knowing who you are as an organization, what you're truly there to do, like what makes you different from the guy down the road that does the same thing. If you're a chiropractor, if you're, a physical trainer, if you are a doctor's office, if you're an attorney, if you're a SaaS company that says that you create this widget that will help you go live stream, there's somebody else that does your thing that you do. It doesn't matter what niche of a business that you are, but there's something else that's truly at the core of what you do. And it doesn't have anything to do with your product or service. Like you could be a water bottle company, which I'm not sure where you heard me speak, but you may have, it was at Social Media Marketing World or?
Yes.
Okay. So you heard me talk about, I use the example there of a water bottle company. So there's a million water bottle companies out there. But this organization that we worked with, they had to get to the heart of what they're really there to do. When I say starting from the inside out, they said, okay, we're not just a water bottle company. Anybody can sell water bottles. And now we're just going to be based upon price and what makes us stand out from another water bottle company. But what we're truly here to do is help people live an exceptional life, really focus in on the experiences that their life is providing. And when you focus on that is at the heart of what you do, it's not about what you do, but it's about how you do it then and how you show up. And now, okay, here's who we can hire that believes what we believe here to then provide the experience to the people, our customers, the end users that they're working with to provide that good experience to now where our customers are going to become our biggest advocates. Our team members are going to be our biggest evangelists, and our community members that are also aligned with what we're truly here to do will become our collaborators. And that creates what's called momentum growth, a flywheel effect. And that's the new sales funnel, if you will. It's a flywheel now. You're never done marketing to the people that you serve. It's creating this community, this tribe, this unit of belonging, which all of us need, instead of selling, right? It's creating belonging over buying. And that's the greatest source of growth in a business, which truly shifts a lot of what we've been told, but it's the only way to grow sustainable, deep-rooted, growth in our business that will allow us to stand the test of time within our organization.
Yes, I agree 100%. And I'll just piggyback because you made a couple points there that I really liked was community and values. I feel like any business needs to have those two things there. And even I'll share an example. One of my friends, so she's a fitness trainer and she specializes in helping girls or helping women improve their bum, right? Or you say, no, you don't say improve their butt, you say in America. I think bum means something. A bum means a homeless person in America, right?
It depends what kind of slang. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So not a homeless person. They're booty, their butt, right?
Yeah.
That's her whole business, an online course doing that. But her social media posts have pretty much got very little to do with like your bum or the exercises for your bum. It's just about her values as a person and her community. And then every now and then there's a photo of a bum or an exercise or whatever, right? But
because that's a good analogy, honestly, really quick, like what you just said, that's a good analogy because people don't work out or choose to work out for different reasons. It's not just about the workout. There's something deeper rooted, right? That you have to get to the center of in order. Like if people think motivation happens first, it's not, it's action, right? Like, but you have to tap into something first to get them to move and to want to improve their bum. Sorry. I love that. Analogy.
I'll piggyback further as well, right? Because in the course creator space, it's not even just competing against other people. It's competing against free YouTube content. Let's use workouts. I'm pretty sure if I jumped on YouTube and typed in booty workout, I think that's the most searched term on YouTube, right? That's what my friend's competing against. So why would someone choose to work with my friend as opposed to just getting a free workout on YouTube because of her values and her community? So I think that's key there. Okay, let's dive in then. That's great, Jessica. We know the theory behind it. We know the philosophy. Everyone's motivated listening to this. Great. I'm going to work on relationship marketing. What the hell do we do? What's the first thing? Let's paint a bit of a picture. Let's say someone's a course creator, a new course creator. maybe they've sold a couple courses before, but they don't really have a big community, don't have a big following. Maybe they've had a few one-on-one clients over the years as well. Not a huge thing as well, but they know a few people. What would your advice be for that person there? How do they get started in relationship marketing?
Yeah, I love this question. And I'm going to like just continue on with your example of a fitness
Yep.
instructor because you're absolutely right, right? Like there's free content out there. The
Yep.
people can get it anywhere that they look, right? And they could get it. So why would they pay someone for it?
Mm.
Why would they pay someone to teach them something that they can get for free? I'm in the same boat with doing social media management. It's not that anyone can make a social post, anyone, right? They could hire somebody on Fiverr or Odesk or whatever, but they're choosing us. And it's not because of what we're doing. Again, it's not about the product or service, it's about our message and how we're showing up. So bringing it back, how do you get started? First, you have to align, and I say out care the competition, because care is an acronym that we break down to help understand the steps that it takes in order to get to where you need to be, to where somebody's going to choose you and work with you and trust you enough to know this is my person and I want to stick with this person no matter what. And care, the first part of it is capturing attention. How do you capture attention? So the person that's teaching these bum workouts, at the end of the day, that's a delivery, right? But she may pivot sometime and do arms or neck
Nutrition.
or whatever, right? And that's what's cool about it, is that she's not limited to that one thing, because it's about who she is. So capturing the attention, you first have to know, and I should actually, let me back up even before that. You first have to pause and not be so consumed with I have to grow so fast, and I'm going to use all these tools in order to replicate and automate the process, because it does not work. It's not about your tool, it's about your technique. So you have to get your technique right first before you start using any of your tools. And that starts first with understanding, starting from the inside out, how am I going to capture attention? And how you identify that is first identifying your brand manifesto. And this is different from like a mission statement or a tagline or any of that stuff. Your manifesto is your declaration of what you're put on this planet to do. Like, what is your purpose in this world? And if somebody is going to remember you for something, or want to tell their friend and advocate for you with clarity and conviction on why they should choose you, what are they going to say about you? That person that does the bum workouts, right? Like, they're probably going to say, she got me to realize that it's not about how I'm looking in the mirror, but it's about how I'm feeling on my inside first. And I had to care enough about myself and choose me first to know that I'm worthy of dedicating this time to me to then improve my physical fitness, right? But you have to get to the root thing that is hard to articulate because it is felt, right? It is felt as something you can feel. So your manifesto, I like to use Apple's because I think everybody knows Apple computers. And here's their manifesto, which I'm a nerd and know it by heart. But you'll notice that they don't say anything about computers or technology in it, but they say, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, or glorify them, but the one thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They see the world differently. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius, because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. That's Apple's manifesto.
Wow.
Nowhere in there. That's their manifesto. They're like, this is what we're truly on this planet to do. So it feels natural when they create things like a computer, a watch, Apple TV. It doesn't matter. Like, it feels natural because they're creating things for their persons that is aligned with their manifesto of what they're here to do, create things for the crazy ones that they see the genius within, right? Like, that's felt. That's something that's hard to articulate of who you're creating things for, but that's felt. So when you're creating a manifesto, it has everything to do with who you're there to do things with, that sense of belonging, and less about what you're there to sell, right? The belonging over buying. So once you create that capturing attention manifesto first, then you say, now I know exactly who I'm creating this for, because I'm creating this product or service for this specific person. This person starts to take on a personality, some attributes of character, what they like listening to, what they like reading, what they're into, what they're going to respond to, the tone of voice that you can relate to them with. Now you know how to move into the A, which is articulating your message. Because if you try to show up and appeal to everyone, you're going to appeal to no one. You're going to be vanilla, not remembered, not supported. Nobody knows who you truly are, and they're not going to be loyal to you. But when you get crystal clear on your message with clarity and conviction now, because now you know what you're about, who you're about, and now how you're going to deliver that message, now you can speak to people in a conversational tone with personality. And that's articulating your message. Now you know, here's who we're showing up for, here's who we want to do business with, here's who we'll never do business with, and that's okay, because we want to appeal to the people that are going to stick with us long-term, magnet. And now that brings us to the R, which is relationship focus. So now that you know your personality of your brand, so who you're going to hire, who you're going to work with, who you're going to align with, is now the relationship part of the R in care. Relationship focus for repeat referral business. You want to align with the people that are there for the long term. You want to align with those people and continue showing up to delight, deliver, do it again, and people that you can build this deepened relationship with that is not just surface level. So when I say relationship focused, it means I'm going to focus on just you in front of me and not focus on, oh, I could buy this automated system that's going to blast out to many, because I know I'm going to have a bigger impact in spending a little bit more time with you personally and maybe sending you a voice memo follow up after our conversation than this automated thank you message, because I know that that's going to be remembered. And now you're going to refer me on to somebody else. And I'm going to now build a relationship with this other community that is also, if I'm this, trainer that's working with women with helping improving their bums, I may be working with trying to think of somebody that would align with them. Maybe working with a Rachel Hollis and aligning with her message, because she has this message, girl, stop apologizing. And I know that that's aligned with my persona that I've identified. And I want to work with her now and shout her message out and build this relationship with her, because I know my community will trust her. They already trust her. She's already got a trusted built-in community. And if we build a relationship, she introduces me to her community. That's an instant referral in through like the trust gates, if you will, right?
Yep.
And then the E part of care is all about exceptional experiences. It means I'm focused on delivering the best experience and looking at my business through the lens of a customer or future customer or client and saying, where can I remove friction and where can I add delight? Where can I make things easier and smoother for people to find me, work with me, and continue doing business with me in a way that feels effortless and feels like they matter? And I write out my process and I look at all those areas to where I can build that exceptional experience. And now my people know that they're cared for and that they matter. And by implementing this whole care process, now you build this rapport with your community that is deepened, strengthened, and rooted in something that's going to last and be sustainable. And now you have this momentum of all these other people working for you. Instead of just you feeling like you have to sell, you have a community of people that are selling for you.
Wow. Okay. So much good info there. I took a whole page of notes. Let me summarize some of this stuff here. Where to start? Okay. Let's start with the capture attention. I love how you said that's the key to start with there. And I love how you mentioned personality. And I'll even throw out a few examples that I see, right, in kind of the online course, internet marketing world. Where to start? Okay. Let's start with like one that's down the middle. There's a lot of people that kind of teach the hustle method, right? Hey, if you want to be successful, hey, you got to go out there and hustle. You can't just, be successful sitting on your bum and visualizing or whatever. You need to work hard. You need to put in the hours. Then you're going to be successful. There's also the anti-hustle movement, right? Hey, who wants to hustle and work all day, every day? Here's the method where, you work as little as possible and you're successful, or you make money, or whatever it may be. Neither of those is wrong. Both of those can work, right? But if you try and cater to both of those in your market, you're just going to get nowhere, right? It's easy to pick one. Hey, I believe, you got to work hard and long hours and put in the work, and that's your message. Great. That's the message you get out there. You're going to attract people like that, no matter what it is, whether it's fitness, whether it's business, whether it's relationship, right? Same on the flip side. If your kind of message is, hey, you don't need to hustle, here's how you can do it, and, be a mom and have kids or whatever it may be, great. You're going to attract those people there, right? Neither are wrong, but you need to pick a side and go with it. And neither in any of those has it mentioned anything about what you do. And by the way, that was amazing how you went word for word the Apple thing.
Oh,
I've heard it
thanks.
before on commercials, and I'm like, she nailed it better. You used to work in Apple, did you, Jessica? Is that how you?
I just got inspired by
Did
their
you? Sorry, did
manifesto.
you?
It's like one of the great ones. Like there's Whole Foods is great. There's so many good manifestos out there. And I promise you, the brands that you know and remember and feel something about, Google what is their manifesto. They have one. They have one. They don't promote it. That's the cool thing. Like they don't promote it. Apple doesn't run campaigns on their manifesto. They don't have to, because it's how they make you feel every day, because it's at the core of who they are, right? You know,
Question.
and that's what's cool what you said, like picking a side and not trying to be wishy-washy. Like you could be in the middle and be like, both of those are bull crap. Honestly, like you just have to own your truth. And I love what you said, like your manifesto is find your F yes or your F no. That's what it is. That's what it's about. It's like picking your truth and running with it, like whatever is innately inside of you and you're, you know, bringing in on your team, you will feel it. And I hate to get like woo woo, but I'm serious. Like once you feel it and once you connect with it, it's going to feel right. It's going to be a lot less friction and a more effortless flow, because it's just already who you are, right? So it will flow out of you. You'll know what to say because it's like what you would say. So you have to define that first and get rid of all the noise of you know, trying to be everything to everyone and pleasing people. Like it will never happen anyway. And every decision that you make is adding either culture credit or culture debt. Like if you're trying to take on the wrong people, they're never going to be satisfied, nor will you, nor will your team. And they're going to tell people about it. And now this is a debt to you, especially when you're starting to grow your business. That was the biggest lesson I learned myself, was taking on the wrong people because they were going to give me money, right? Like it's not worth it in the long run. It's like those credit cards you think when you graduate, you know, college or I'm not sure what it is, where you're at, if it's university or whatever they call it, but like they promise you the world and like free money. There's no such thing, right? Like there's some kind of, you know, add on to whatever decision that you're taking on and whoever you're aligning with. So make sure it's the ones that are adding culture credit, not culture debt. And you only can get to that when you know who you are internally.
I'll expand on that point more. I'm still going to expand on your previous point,
Yes,
but I need
do
to
it.
piggyback off that because my original background was fitness, right? And I would run a fitness boot camp. And what I found in the fitness boot camp, let's say you got 20 people, 20 members at your boot camp, all it takes is one, for lack of better words, wrong person or not fit or whatever you want to call it in there, that can ruin your whole culture. And I learned that lesson as well. If I keep that person in there, I'm going to lose 5, 10 members, right? If I nicely ask that person to leave, I'm going to keep all 19 of them. So it's better to lose that one person there in terms of community. And that's the same if we're talking online now, that's the same in the Facebook group world. All it takes is someone to make a post in your Facebook group and one person to criticize them in the comments. That person, they post, oh man, this group's awful. These people are horrible in there. I'm going to leave this group. The other people in that group that see that oh man, you know, if I better not ever post in this group. If I post in this group, these people are going to comment here. And that's just the group side of things. Your own energy as well. It's kind of like if you get the wrong person in there, that affects your own energy. So I love that. I want to go back to your point of kind of picking a side as well and use a few other examples that I see around the place that aren't as defined as that hustle and no hustle. It could be as simple as kind of like, are you a funny person or a serious person? I don't know if it was you that gave this example here. There's one brand in America where they just do all these tweets where they basically criticize the competition.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Wendy's.
Was that you
Yeah.
that talks about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
you take over then. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, well, no, I love that you bring this up because it's like, you just be you, right? Like you can all tell brevity is not my strong suit. Like I love talking, I get excited about things. I talk with my hands, if you could see me, you know, and I get nerdy, you know, sometimes and just ramble. But I had to find that even though I admire or appreciate some of their styles, like Wendy's, they're funny, they're hilarious. They talk about the competition in a way that's like very snarky and, you know, funny. And they do that, but that was their lane. If
Yeah.
I tried to do that, I would
Yep.
be like the dad joke, mom joke,
Yep. And
failure
also
to
with Wendy's,
land
that
jokes,
might turn
right?
some people off. Some people, oh, Wendy,
Exactly,
they do this
exactly.
funny. I don't want to work. That's fine. Pick a
People
side.
don't, they just want you to be you. And
Mm,
thankfully, people love my quirks sometimes. So they've said, I don't know. But I've learned to just go with it because I can't be anybody else but me. And
mm,
that's just the thing with you. Like, nobody is expecting you to be the next Gary Vee,
mm.
or to, be the next Tony Robbins or Seth Godin or Simon Sinek or whatever. They just want you to be you. Like, you don't have to reinvent. I love this quote. I don't remember who said it, but it's awesome. But it's like, you don't have to reinvent ice cream, but you have to be your own flavor. Like, there's so many different flavors. Like, you just need to be your own flavor, and that's what makes you remembered. Like, you don't want to be somebody else's copy, right? Like, just be you. So you could be educational, you could be entertaining, you could be, funny, you could just be the expert at what you do, but find the thing that is innately you and just do that.
Yep, agree. Um, I also like, yeah. So then we got to the relationship. I like a few different things there. I like how you mentioned the kind of the have a relationship with a heavy hitter, right? That's kind of the easiest way to do it in a way. It's got its own skill set to do that as well. But it's kind of like, let's say if you do want to, get in front of your ideal people, okay, great, try and do it on your own. It's going to be pretty freaking hard. Find someone that already has your audience. It's going to be a lot easier. It's a whole nother strategy, networking with that person, getting in there, but it starts with the one person anyway, right? The person that's in front of you. Okay, I'm going to help this person there. That they may enable me to network with this person here and this person here, and I get to the top. So I love that. And I love the experience as well, because kind of like, there's a lot of in the internet marketing as well, especially I find it in the high ticket space, where it's kind of just like, hey, you just charge a lot of money and give people this thing, and then done, your job. It's kind of like, hey, just charge someone $20,000 and teach them how to charge someone else $20,000, and your job's done. So I'm not a fan of that. So I like how you mentioned, make
Yeah,
it a
they
really
spend all the
good.
money on the marketing and the campaigning and their site and all that. And then at the end of it, it's a PDF that
Yeah.
hasn't been updated in 6 years. Like,
Yep.
no, don't do that.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
So yes, and love that care method. I do want to be sensitive of your time, Jessica. So there's just a few questions I like to finish up with. One of them, this being the Course Creator Community Podcast, I always ask everyone what platform they host their course on, or what their favorite platform is. I believe you've got an online course, Jessica. So give it a bit of a plug, and also let us know what platform you use.
Yeah, sure. So my MO is to help others do relationship marketing, right? So we have our own app. You can find it. It's called the Relationship Marketing Mentor, or you can just go to learnrelationshipmarketing.com. It gives you the guide. It gives you everything on how to create a manifesto, to building out your own care process. I'm not selling you anything. But then it does give you the opportunity to dive into some training videos and to kind of deeper dive into that if you should choose to do so, which is a paid course. But that's we build it in our own app. Tried to not build my house on borrowed land kind of thing.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Okay. Next question is around mentors. So you're obviously a mentor for plenty of people out there that want to get better at relationship marketing. I'm curious to hear who your biggest mentors have been, Jessica. If you can answer this in a few different ways, if you can give us a paid mentor, someone that you've paid money to do their coaching or their course or whatever it may be, an unpaid mentor, so you haven't paid them, but you follow them on Instagram, you listen to their podcast, read their blog, whatever it may be, and a book that you recommend everyone should read if they want to get better at relationship marketing. So paid, unpaid, book.
Mhm. I'll do this reverse engineer what you just said.
Okay.
So the book to start with, I highly recommend, is How to Win Friends and Influence
Oh,
People. Like,
yes.
great book. Everybody should read it. It truly just, I mean, it's things that we know, right? But we don't think about it because we're just taught in business and marketing like it's such this like unicorn that has to be figured out. If we just focus on being a good human, like that's how it works, right? Like, that's how we're all humans at the end of the day. So I would say that book definitely must read. I would say unpaid, like people that I really look up to and I just love how they show up. Seth Godin, love his stuff, love his stuff. I love Simon Sinek stuff. Definitely on just how to approach leadership and being good people. Oh, there's so many. I would say then paid mentors. I've hired several different coaches. I still hire a coach. I highly recommend hiring coaches. Probably not people that you would know, but Moria, I hire her. I have a spiritual coach, like just a life coach, like somebody that just like makes sure I'm staying healthy and true to myself. I have a speaking coach, which I worked with Brian Fanzo on that. I have a NLP, which then I got NLP certified, but NLP coach, Lucas, I worked with him. So yeah, I don't think it's people you may know, but yeah, there's several coaches that I pay for as well. Maybe Brian Fanzo, people would know, but other than that, my spiritual coach, if you know Mari Smith, it's her sister.
Oh, yes. Murray
So I've
Smith,
been
the
working with
Facebook
her.
expert.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So Mari and I are friends, and so I work. It's her sister. She's my spiritual coach. I've worked with her for the past 6 years. She's good, good
There we
people.
go.
But
Well, no, that was a good list there. I love your book. That's my favorite book ever.
yes.
And there's a couple things with that, right? Firstly, for the listeners, if you haven't read it, it's literally 100 years old. I think
Yeah.
that was written in the 20s or the 30s or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I think there's a new version out, the digital age or something.
Uh-huh.
I got to buy it. I
Yeah,
haven't
but
read that one
I
yet.
love the oldie. Like honestly, you can't go wrong with that. Also,
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich,
Oh,
another classic. Like seriously, it's all mindset. Everything we do
mm.
is mindset.
I'll tell you a story with that thinking with not so with
Mhm,
How to Win Friends. He
mhm,
gives a specific example, the author in that book, Dale Carnegie. And I remember I read it, and I'll tell you the example. He tells this story. Let me give me a second to make sure I say it. I don't stuff it up too badly, right? He tells this story where it was like they were at a dinner party or something, and there was a bit of a conversation, and someone was telling this story. And they were like, "Hey, here's my favorite quote. It's from Jesus Christ, and he says this." And then someone interrupted. It was like, "Well, actually, it wasn't Jesus Christ that said that quote. It was, I don't know, Mahatma Gandhi or someone, I don't know, some other ancient figure, right?" And it was a bit of a dispute about it. And then the author was telling that story, and he told his friend after, "Hey, just letting you know, that's actually not a polite thing to do. Like you just interrupted that person, ruined their minute in the spotlight to do some insignificant fact that had nothing to do with the story." As soon as I read that, I'm like, man, the amount of times I've done that before I read the book and didn't even realize, and I'm just like, oh man, it's just like a really good book where you can get some. I know you mentioned that you should know those things. I didn't know half the things in those books. I kind of because I think a lot of them aren't really taught. It's kind of like maybe
mhm.
if you're kind of good socially, you pick them up, but if not, you miss a lot of them. So yeah, that book
Yeah.
changed my life. So I love how you mentioned that there.
Yeah, and it may not be things we know, but how I should have rephrased that is saying it is things that make you feel good after you do it. Right?
Mm,
Like the example. I love that example in the book, right? Also, like even he uses the example and they're about team members when they screw up and how that positive reinforcement actually course corrects more so than negative
mm,
feedback and like scolding and all of that and how to do that. And it's really a control of ourselves, and it's our inner regulator, if we will. So it's the things that make us feel good and be good people that actually produces the best results at the end of the day. And we're starting to see this already. Like, I hate bringing up the year 2020, but 2020, when the world shut down, basically, like who were the brands you stuck behind and didn't mind, you know, still paying that subscription or wanted to support and show up for? It's the ones that you cared about. And the other brands that may have had it all at that time are struggling. They had we call it the great resignation, because people were leaving these companies because they're like, it's not worth it at the end of the day to work for these organizations that don't care about me. And the guys, gals, organizations that are winning are the ones that truly care. So if we can truly focus on how to outcare in all regards of our life, and that book really gives us some actionable and proven ways of doing so, it will help you grow sustainable long-term business growth. It may not be the fastest, but it's going to be the most sustainable, because the other stuff, it's not sustainable.
mm,
It's the weight loss in a pill kind of approach, right?
mm.
We all know it doesn't work.
Exactly. Work for a month, but then you're gone after that, right?
Yeah,
Anything after a
exactly.
month, and even
Mhm.
there's actually a good quote in this book as well. The author uses it with friends, but I think it works really well in business as well. The quote's something where it's like, you can make more friends in 3 months by genuinely being interested in other people than you can in 3 years by trying to get people
Yes.
interested in you. And I
Oh my God, I
believe you
love
can
that one.
100%.
Yes.
And I believe you can take out friends and
Hmm.
put clients or customers in there.
Hmm.
You can get more. You can get more clients or customers in 3 months by
Hmm.
genuinely being interested in other people than you can in 3 years by trying to get people interested in you. You can jump on social media. Hey, look how good I am. Look how good my
Hmm.
body is. Look how successful I am. Blah 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 blah. Or in 3 months, if you be interested in other people, you'll win that game there.
That quote there can sum up this whole interview. Like
Mm.
that's what it's
We should have
about.
started with it. How did we
Honestly,
not do that
we
at the
just
start?
had you say that at the beginning, and just put it at the beginning. No, but seriously, like I think they're like along that same thing that's brilliant. That's what it's about, right? And
Mm,
there's another quote in there. It's like if you want to be the most interesting person, be the most interested, right? And
mm,
that's exactly what you're saying. Like that's how
mm,
you win friends, clients, business, all of it. That's truly it.
mm.
That's all we had to say. We can just cut the rest of the stuff out. Yeah.
Well, we'll finish up in a sec. I'll piggyback on that one little bit there. And what I've
Sure.
found in both the real life world and the internet world as well, I think it's a good way to lead with that. Like if you're in a conversation, networking with someone, instead of going in there, hey, here's what I do, here's my business card, blah blah blah, lead with that person there. What I find within about 5-10 minutes, that person's naturally going to ask what you do. If you're being genuinely interested, sooner or later they're going to be like, man, I better ask about this. But and if they don't, run a mile. If that person just keeps speaking about themselves for the whole time, run a mile. You don't want to do business with that person. So I think that's a good tip. But Jessika, that's pretty much all I wanted to get through today. Is there anything I should have asked you but forgot to, or anything you want to finish us off with?
No, I just think it's amazing. A great conversation. I love this stuff. It works, guys. It works. I promise. We work with some of the most boring industries that many would consider boring industries. I find it exciting in the world, like nuclear pharmacy and Mr. Manhole that literally cuts manholes out of the ground and repairs them. And we use relationship marketing with this, with them, and have grown their business sustainably with spending less money. So I promise it's not the quickest fix, but it's the ultimate process for your business is to focus on relationships, because relationships will always be more powerful than any marketing that you can do. So I just thank you for your time and all of your time for listening in to our conversation here today.
Awesome. And social, Jessica, if anyone wants to connect with you on social media, what's your platform of choice?
Yeah, so you can just visit my website and find which platform that gravitate to the most. I'm hanging out there most likely to, but jessikaphillips.com is my website URL and has all the socials at the top. And my name is spelled a little different, Jessika with a K. So Jessika, Phillips, PHILLIPS.com.
Awesome. And I'll put those in the show notes. Thanks very much for your time, Jessica.
Thank you so much.